Welcome to Chapter 3 Project Management. Outline. First, the importance of project management. Second, project planning. Three, project scheduling. Fourth, project controlling. Project management techniques such as PERT and CPM, determining the project schedule, variability in activity time, cost time trade-off, and project crashing. Also, we have a critique of PERT and CPM using Microsoft Project to manage projects. Learning objective. Overall learning objective. This chapter will use a joint chart for scheduling with an entry in AOA and AON network, activity on ARO and activity on NOD networks, complete forward and backward passes for a project. Also, and we're gonna determine the critical path. Continuing on learning objective, we are going to calculate the variance of activity time, and we are gonna crash a project. Just let you know, this chapter covers covers all of the math associated with the project management scheduling. It's not encompassing of the key element on the project management plan in accordance with the Project Management Institute standard. So this is just a kind of doubles little bit of project management. Well, execute project can provide a competitive advantage in many ways. Time to market can be reduced. Continuous improvement can happen. New product introduction can be streamlined, ultimately helping you meet and exceed customer expectation. Project typically includes the elements listed project coming all shapes and size across all industrial, both product and service based. Here are a few examples where projects were necessary to achieve a product or service deliverable. What examples come to your mind? Have you been involved in a project with an activity on the job or in your personal life? Project activity are divided into three phases: planning, creating the schedule, and then controlling the execution of the project. Planning such as goal settings, defining the project, team organization. Scheduling such as relate people, money, and supplies to specific activity and activities to each other. Controlling such as monitoring resources, costs, quality, and budget. Revise plan and shift resources to meet time and cost demand. Here is the phases of the project are shown as a continuous loop with planning leading to scheduling, and then controlling completion of the project, then result in the creation of the new project plan, and the cycle continues. Play in the project started with a high-level definition project goals. This include the time requirement, when will the project will be completed, the cost of the project, and deliverable or scope of the project. Next, details is added to the project plan, including detail and the deliverable to work breakdown structure and the resources, including team member, software, hardware, and facilities. Once the plan is complete, this schedule is to find. A schedule includes a sequence of activities. What comes first, the assignment of people to task scheduling deliverables, and as a result, scheduling to the resources. Here we see a summary with all three phases laid out in order. Each results in multiplied deliverable for the project. Some key example include the budget, schedule, and resources, while some items are created earlier in the project. You will find it all items will be reviewed frequently during the execution of the project and update as appropriate. Actively supporting the planning phase are shown here. Too often insufficient plan will result in the project execution issue. Further down in the line, planning is often cut short due to the directly estimate the end of the future and the desire to just get started. The structure used to organize the staff working on a project can be converted greatly from project to project. It must be first remember that staffing is often temporary. The project less refined at another time. Then the team returned to their previous roles or to new assignments. Ideally, the best employees are added to keep project. In some cases, team member report to ready to the project management will, and other team members remain within their homework organization and redesign of the project. It is best to have team member report directly to the project under these conditions. This approach, while best of the project, may have political issue within larger organization. First one, work can be defined with a specific goal and deadline. Number two, the job is a unique or somewhat unfamiliar to the existing organization. Number three, the work contains complex interrelated tasks requiring specialized skills. Number four, the project is temporally but critical to the organization. Number five, the project cut across organizational lines. Here an example of an organizational chart for a project. It will be considered a matrix structure since each member of the project team report to both the project manager and their home department. Here is another view of how matrix structure works. The role of the project manager to fight between managing the project costs, scope, and quality while managing the member of the team. Interpersonal skills are key to the success of project managers. The skills and coaching, communicating, and organizing. Ethical decision making is a critical to the success of project managers. That should be successful mainly to issues. It is difficult to report issues within the project and fall back up on the project manager. The work breakdown structure captures the various tasks required to be completed. A hierarchical structure is used to divide major tasks into more manageable effort. This graphic depicts a hierarchical level of a project with some example of the different level of activity. Different techniques used for scheduling project activities. These techniques ensure precedence, timing, and effective management of the project. Project scheduling include setting realistic time and cost estimate. This is both an art and science. Estimated must include a thorough analysis along with the managerial judgment. The three most common project management techniques are listed here. Next, we will discuss each in details. The first one, giant start and the critical path method. Finally, program evaluation and review techniques, BERT. Here is a sample of a giant chart that's here is a sample of the giant chart. Tasks are listed on the left, while the horizontal bar indicates the duration of each. Here is an example of a giant chart. Is more complex yet. Describe a set of activities measured in minutes, not days or months. Months. Once the project plan is in a place controlling the project, as next it is up to the project manager to manage project activity, including task completion, cost, and quality. The manager shifts resources as required to keep the project on track. Complex project use computerized tool to facilitate the control of the project. Some popular software tools used for project management or listed here to a selection is driven by type and the size of the project. Use of the Microsoft project is common in business. The different project management tools generated a number of standard reported to help the project manager effectively control project. You can see that the report covers the key metrics of the project, includes the scope, cost, and effort. PERT and CPM use network techniques to manage a project. Both techniques were developed to manage very complex and expensive project. They differ by the method used to estimate task duration. Both PERT and CPM use 6 steps to create the project plan network. When the activity to find is linked by the relationship competition of the critical path is fundamental. The critical path is to find the project constraints and indicate the longest time pass through the network. If the critical path is late, the project will be late. This tool will help the project manager answer the question and other the project cost scheduling and resources can be managed this way. Activity or not is one method for charting activity. Each circle in the chart represents a single activity or task. The arrow reflects the relationship and the precedence between activities, like in the slides here. Here is an example of activity on node charting in action, which starts with a list of activities and their procedures. These activities are necessary for paper manufacturing, especially. For the intentional activity, we build out the chart as we add a new activity based upon their processes, their procedures. The single shows a complete on node network for these activities linked by their relationship. Here also the signal shows the complete sorry okay, well, as I previously mentioned, identify the critical path is key to effective project management. The critical path is the longest path through the network. It's like it's like the time, it's the amount of the time, and activity may be delayed without affecting the overall project activity on the critical path. Have no slack time once the structure has been defined. We add the time duration for each activity known. That's the actual project length will not be 25 weeks, since some activity work in their pillar alone. In the next discussion, we will build upon this structure to take advantage of these tools. And this is the end of part 1. Thank you very much.